It's General Keanu Reeves on the mic, basically, and today we're going to be telling you guys about the movie Chain Reaction, starring Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman and Brian Cox, and this movie is a doozy, let me tell you.
Stars Keanu Reeves as Eddie Kasalovich and his British doctor girlfriend, Lily Sinclair. An older gentleman, Dr. Alistair.
Chinese gentleman named Chen.
A older gentleman by the name of Paul Shannon. A bit of a doctor.
He's kind of the bad guy. He's like this evil billionaire dude who's like using his foundation as like a front for like doing like weird scientific shit. Eddie Kasalovich is the best there is at listening to the frequencies. He's got an ear like no other.
He's, in fact, the only one, as stated by Morgan Freeman later in the movie, that knows the frequencies, and you'll come to find why that's so important later on.
2 million. So he really nails the role of Eddie Kasalovich. He's this scientist who's a nerd, but also kind of a badass. And when I say kind of, I mean very much a badass because he does crazy shit all the time.
After these hydrogen tests, with this weird particle accelerator machine, the one that Keanu knows the frequencies for, they complete tests in the lab for the day. Just early scene in the movie. Then he leaves. Everyone leaves the lab for the day. And Keanu goes to his
Eager to return tomorrow, or will they? Okay, so basically, Keanu's really into this lady at his work, at his lab, and her name is Lily Sinclair. She's a doctor, and she's a little London ting, and she British. You know, she had a British accent, and she talks like this. All that to say, he's at her house. She's drunk as shit. He's being a respectful king. He leaves her to be. As he's leaving his London ting's house, he actually sees these like weird dudes leaving his fucking work. And he's like, yo, what the hell? Like, why are these weird dudes at my work? It's no one's there. You know, they're at their homes. They're going to return to work tomorrow, but not today. We went home for the day.
There should be nobody.
There should be nobody there. Nobody at the lab.
It's weird.
He goes in the lab. Checks it out. Alarms are going off. Guess who he sees? Fucking Dr. Alistair with a plastic bag over his head. And guess who's nowhere to be found? The boy Chen. Our boy Chen is gone.
So, basically all you need to know about Chen up until this point in the movie is that he has like 3 lines throughout like the whole movie. Basically. And one of them is 1 3/4 of the lines are just completely in Chinese. So, like, it's just a very mysterious and just like ambiguous guy.
Yeah, he's cool though.
Yeah, no, very cool. But
he's chill.
Now he's missing.
He's the type of guy, he has like good vibes, and you just know he's cool and he's chilling. So basically, after Keanu finds Alistair with the fucking plastic bag on his head, and you know Chen is missing, he notices that the goddamn particle accelerator has been turned on, and it's accelerating, and it's hydrogen and all that futuristic stuff that's gonna happen in the future, and it's gonna explode the building, and it does explode the building, and that's when the whole motorcycle situation happens. And there's a sick part actually before he gets on the motorcycle where he has this helmet on top of it, and he throws it off. And he just jumps on top of the motorcycle, helmetless, fucking bad boy. And it's crazy because later he lands head first and is unconcussed, does not get knocked out, lands head first, thousands of miles an hour. It's actually ridiculous that he survived. Like, he should have been dead within the first 30 minutes of this movie. Like, he really should. If this explosion is in, he's outrunning a like nuclear explosion. It's insane. Keanu and Lily Sinclair actually get framed by an unknown saboteur for the explosions of these people. And, Morgan Freeman, it keeps like trying to help them out, but he's being like weird. Like he's like, you gotta come with me, and like he always has like a bunch of people around him, and like every like he has clearly has a lot of influence, but it's like, oh, apparently all he does is run a nonprofit. Like what? Yeah. So he tries to help them out, but he's being weird. They go on the run, and they're in a fucking chase with the cops. And a fucking helicopter comes out of nowhere. Out of the fucking sky comes a goddamn helicopter, swoops in, and shoots the cop that's about to shoot Keanu.
Yep.
It's insane.
It is insane.
And then they fucking leave.
Yeah.
The helicopter leaves, and there's ketchup all over the cop.
To be clear, at this point in the movie, everybody in the country knows about Keanu being on the run because the news is like covering it. Congress is aware. Like everybody has been alerted at this point in the movie. So he's really like a high level fugitive. He can't be seen by anybody.
They're being chased by the helicopter on ice, on an ice Ferrari, ice Lambo, and it's insane. They're doing okay. So when they first get into it,
It's a crazy ass.
Keanu is freaking the fuck out. He has no idea what to do. He's just going and he does like 10 donuts. It's actually like just circle after circle after. It's pretty. It's
and they're like wide donuts. Like they're
like,
like
it's
long,
excessive.
It take a long time to do the donut.
yeah.
It's insane.
It's excessive. He's definitely doing it a little bit on purpose, and the girl is, fucking Lily is freaking out, bro. She's freaking out. She's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
and you already know our boy hits her with the best I can, and it's so fire,
It is one of the
and it
funniest
hits
lines.
so good,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful, and it's a great line.
Yeah. Just Keanu doing Keanu things.
Yeah,
Just Keanu doing Keanu things.
It's just Keanu doing Keanu things. So they escape. They're on the lam, and they're in they find a cabin in the fucking woods an abandoned cabin that insanely has water, electricity, gas. Like it's crazy.
It's the best.
Like like fully furnished. Like it's pretty insane. And so they stay in there for a bit, rest up.
Yeah, and this is where something really weird happens. In classic Keanu fashion, his love interest of the movie is very cold. She's so cold, she can't feel her legs. It's secretly because Keanu blew her back out so hard that she can't feel her legs. Yeah,
We believe.
But
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Yeah, she says she's cold, and then in response, he does nothing but just mount her, as Sean said, and just lay there, and it's weird. The vibes are not there, and it seems like Keanu's into that though. When the girl doesn't want him, which isn't good.
Right.
It's not good at all. Actually, it's very problematic.
No, it's not good. Allegedly.
Allegedly. They were on the run, and Morgan Freeman's like, listen, I need you guys to come and, like, turn yourselves in. Like, there's just no other way. It's got to happen. So Morgan Freeman goes down there. He turns himself in. They
Two things you actually have to know about Keanu throughout this whole movie is that he is, number one, the most evasive scientist out there, and he is the strongest scientist out there. Borderline Spider-Man level. This is like a deleted Spider-Man. Yeah, super strength. It's like a deleted Spider-Man iteration where it's not Andrew Garfield, it's not Tobey Maguire, and it's not Tom Holland. It's, in fact, Keanu Reeves. And it's just a really good take on what it would be like if he was blessed with the Spidey powers.
So while Keanu and Lily were getting up to some risky business in the cabin, that's when we learned that Morgan Freeman's pretty much evil because he has a conversation with this dude named Lyman, who's one of his rich evil homeboys, and they basically talk about how Lyman was actually the one who hired the dudes in the helicopter to make sure that Keanu doesn't die because they need him to make this hydrogen accelerator that they want for some reason because they're rich and weird.
Yeah. They didn't directly say any of that, but he said something along the lines of like, if anyone's going to go down for this, it's not going to be me. Lyman said something like that to Morgan Freeman.
And after Keanu like learns this information that they've been being like that Morgan Freeman has been in on it the whole time basically, he and Lily go rogue. They try to get away, and Lily gets kidnapped.
Yep.
And then she is forced to work on the hydrogen accelerator thing with our boy Chen, the boy himself.
He's back. Yeah, he's back and he's still not talking.
He's back. He's still not saying many lines.
What are the group trying to perfect other than the frequencies that only who knows? Keanu, Eddie. Only Eddie Kasalovich knows the codes. And Morgan Freeman knows that, but he's still got these guys, Chen and Dr. Lily.
But they can't get it, and Chen actually has told them. Remember, that is the one thing Chen actually did say. One of his one lines is that only Eddie, like basically only Eddie can do. Like we need Eddie we need his ear.
He said that's what he's been trying to tell you for days.
And the thing they don't know is Eddie is underneath the floorboards. He is there. Eddie is there, and he's also loaded with all of the information about Morgan Freeman's organization, C Systems, and he is prepared to blast that shit out. So he waits under the floorboards. He sees that, they can't fucking figure this shit out. While they are taken back to their rooms, he figures the shit out. He configures it.
And everything suddenly is perfect. And that ticks Morgan Freeman off. He's like, wait a second. How is this possible? Because only one man that I know knows the frequencies.
Yeah.
Eddie. Eddie again. And so he gets a little suspicious of the whole situation.
He basically is like, okay, I know Eddie's here. And he finds Eddie in his office because Eddie just sent out a mass email to it was like a bunch of scientists and a bunch of organizations, like basically all the fraud and like dirty like criminal shit. Okay, so Morgan Freeman gets pissed off, obviously, because Eddie has done this. And around this time, the boy Lyman comes in the room, and Eddie's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he's like, "I'm Lyman. Like, we're me and Paul over here. We're a team. We do this shit together. We do this shit together.
Vic and Sean movie review.
Yeah, Vic and Sean movie reviews type shit." Lyman's pissed off. He's like, "What the fuck? Eddie is causing us so many problems. Like, I don't care that he's the only one who can fucking do this shit. I don't give a fuck." And then guess what? Chen walks out because he's fucking hungry and he wants a little fucking snacky snack. He wants some fucking Cheez-Its. He wants some fucking Cheez-Its. And then Lyman takes out... Lyman has his gun out, right, while he's been talking to Keanu. Turns to fucking Chen and just domes him. Headshot. One shot, dead.
It felt racist. No, it was racist. It felt
racially motivated because because Chen's the boy, and to do him like that, and that was only 20 years after the Vietnam War when you really think about it, bro. Our boy Keanu says, "I turned on the particle accelerator just like you did at the last lab," and everybody starts running the fuck away. Everybody starts running the fuck away.
Because basically the words he said means there's a primed nuke in the vicinity of everybody. Just like as you should know. But just
essentially. So everybody's running. Of course, Lyman and Paul are first because they have fucking a ton of men with them, and they're just they get out first basically. And Paul and Lyman actually get in an elevator together. They have a conversation that's about retiring and shit, and when they're gonna hang it up, and it's kind of weirdly contentious. And then you just see the outside of the elevator door, and you see a pow gunshot.
Yeah, it makes a gunshot noise.
Yeah, and then Morgan Freeman gets out, and then it's just fucking the dude and fucking blood on the ground and shit, and he's fucking dead. Fucking killed him. He's out of the movie. And so that guy's gone. Morgan Freeman gets in a car. He drives away. Now let's get to our boy fucking Keanu.
They end up locking Lily and Eddie in a room together. Yeah. Now the bomb's going off. Eddie and Lily are locked in a room together, and but Eddie's a super genius scientist, so he's had a plan to escape the entire time. He takes a hydrogen can, props it up against a weird concrete barrier that closed into like a gap that they can escape through, and then chops the top off the hydrogen barrier with like an axe or something, and then uses that force to blast back the concrete slab so there's enough room for him and his girl to squeeze through before it explodes.
Squeeze.
And then they make an epic escape where they undoubtedly make love in the end somewhere.
Yeah,
but there's a lot more we have to cover. Sorry.
They make an epic escape where they're covered in ash and they get exploded through a tunnel.
Blast them like hundreds, if not thousands of feet
probably thousands of feet.
out of the ground through a giant tunnel.
Yeah.
Probably thousands.
Yeah, I would say thousands.
Yeah, out of the tunnel into and once again unscathed.
Who else? Who else but Eddie? Who else but Eddie Kasalovich? Who else but Keanu Reeves? I mean, what more do you expect?
Could you add?
Very insane. Great movie, honestly.
Wonderful.
Definitely recommend.
Wonderful movie.
We love you, Keanu Reeves. We love you, Morgan Freeman, but we love you more, Keanu Reeves.
Yes, we do.
Keanu Reeves out.
General Keanu Reeves signing out.